Again, still out here on the road, moving further and further west today. Hey Jay, you want to see a beauty shot? You want to see something pretty? Yeah. If you're watching on Talk TV, you'll get a chance to see this instead of my big old ugly head. I got here in a hurry. Today I'm in a little town called Durango, Colorado. Historic town, beautiful little town. We're not actually in town, we're further out, but got a chance to pass through there today. It was a really gorgeous trip coming out of northern New Mexico. And it's amazing to me, I noticed this when we got to the Colorado border. As soon as you see the sign that says "Welcome to Colorado," it's like somebody knew to draw the line there because that's where everything changes on the landscape. The mountains get bigger. You start to see green pastures and farms. I mean, it's like right across the line. It was like a postcard. And so got to drive through all that for about 4 hours today to get here to quickly set up shop. AJ, you know how I dread trees when I get to the park location.
Mm-hmm.
I got here and they got me a nice treed lot, but I managed to. I've got this mask now to put the satellite dish really high to be able to transmit out of here. And I got over that sucker, and I was able to. You ready? Up an extra camera. I had just enough time to get one more camera set up outside. So there's our beauty shot for the day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I have no idea what river that is. I know a couple of times I crossed the Animas River, and I'm not sure if that's tributary or the headwaters of it, but I'll try to figure that out before the show's over.
But I'm gonna tell you this: the view and the sun is a whole lot better than what we got here.
That's what I was doing, just trying to make you a little jealous. Let me pan around and show you upriver. I guess that would be downriver, based on the way it's flowing. Now there's kind of a cliff, like right there where the camera's sitting. I don't know if I can pan down and let you see that or not. I was going to try to go down and set up. It's hard to tell from here. That's like a 12-foot drop straight off, and there's no way to get down there. I really wanted to just set up down there by the water. If I'd have had maybe one more hour, I'd have given it a shot. But it's a lot more risky if I were to get down there and something goes wrong or we lose signal. And then of course, that's back upriver as we scan through. You can see sort of the part of the campground there. My neighbors took off. They were from Phoenix, out on the road with their family. Had the dog, had the kids out touring around out here. Just a gorgeous part of the country. And we're just, I'm going to spend some vacation time here in Colorado and then bounce around some of the other cities out west. And, of course, as we have promoted, we're going to be taking y'all with us. And I'll get this camera thing down, and we'll have 2 or 3 cameras on all the people we talk to and the places we go. So we hope y'all will join us. Yeah, and I hate it that the weather's so bad back there. I've been keeping up with things back at the house, and it just looks so ominous. How bad has it been so far today? Because there's more on the way. I was looking at the future radar. It looks pretty rough this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some parts of Birmingham Metro probably got hit pretty heavy, but as of right now, especially here at the radio station, the rain is pretty light, but, obviously the clouds are here. It's very wet and damp. Roads are, slick, obviously, but I guess more of that heavy rain is going to be coming on later on in the day. But as of right now, especially here around the station, it's not too bad.
I saw one of our forecasters in town, and I wish I could give him credit because I was just scrolling through at a red light. When I'm driving all morning trying to get to the next spot, I have to stop and read when I can. So I was scrolling through to see what was happening back home, and they said at one point, I guess this was about 3 hours ago, that it was raining at 3 inches per hour at the Shelby County Airport. Now, Shelby County much more, a little bit to the south of the very edge of this thing and catching a lot of rain. Then if you look at this, the future radar of the rain bands, it's just going to be all afternoon during quite a bit during the course of this show. Let's see, low-end tornado threat today, and let me see, the rain projections were still 3 inches and up for most of the area. So I did notice I took a couple of power hits at home, but I can still see all the cameras, and everything still looks good there with people checking on my place. And, you always worry about when you're out traveling, you're going to get a tree or something, and they're going to have something that somebody else is going to have to deal with. But and that is a possibility today with that low-end tornado threat. Just to reiterate, there is a possibility. Am I teasing y'all too much with this shot? I'll put it back on. I'll put it back on the mobile studio unit. There is that possibility today. Just a low-end chance of a tornado, and of course, if any of that stuff pops up, we'll start tracking it and let you know where the severe warnings are. And I believe, based on the rainfall that we've had so far and what this radar shows for this afternoon, we're going to have some flood warnings probably, looks like about 4 o'clock maybe after. Depends on where you are, of course, because we cover such a broad area. Now, if y'all are listening to me in, say, Coleman right now, it's not as bad for you. So as you go north, our listeners in north of Birmingham just not seeing the same kind of intensity. But this afternoon, Shelby, Tuscaloosa, and looks like Talladega County getting quite a bit, and that's just going to lead to more and more issues. If we start having traffic backups and issues related to it, because it is just Thursday afternoon, some folks still getting around, y'all bring it. Bring the reports, because that'll help, especially road closures. And we're always open to that when our callers want to call in, because it helps folks all around you get ready for stuff like that. Floor Tech Coatings bringing you the show to get started today. Y'all, I really am glad to have this kind of home service on the show. It's a need that if you got just sort of raw concrete in a garage space or in a shop, in a retail space, you know how dirty it can get. And at some point, it's just not going to ever look the same. And you can't put paint on it. That's not going to work. And a lot of these floor coatings over the years have just failed us. And I've had my own experience with this with a project I did. And it turns out I did the installation correctly. I just couldn't figure out, why did it look so bad so fast? It did fade. It did start to peel. And turns out it was just the product. A lot of times in that industry, they've been just putting down inferior product. In fact, they're polluting their own product, some of the manufacturers, by putting solvents and impurities into the mix just to sort of thin it out and stretch it out, make it easier to apply, make the product go a little further, I guess. And that's just not the way to do it. Floor Tech is not a brand new concept, but a very tested concept that was based on the failure of the other products. Kevin and his team literally turned into scientists, got in the lab and did their testing and figured out what was wrong with the other stuff. And they did it differently. Isn't that good? Capitalism. I don't care what they say. So they built a better mousetrap, so to speak. They put better ingredients in and took the impurities out. So just like the food we eat and other things that we use, you need the good stuff. And that's what they've designed, and that's what they've built at Floor Tech. So let them come and demonstrate why their product's better. You get ultimate customization in the colors. I remember when I did mine, I had my choice of about 20 colors from a pre-mixed color palette. You know, you just had samples, and they're very different from each other. They'll bring you a sort of an iPad type device, has a little fader slider on it, and you can slide that thing around until it's just like what you want. Then they'll go mix it up that way and put the amount of, I call it flake. I think they call it chips, but they put the amount that you want. Some people want a lot. Some people just want a little for character. And you'll love this project. And here's the best part. They so stand behind everything they do that this has a lifetime warranty, and that travels with the home. If you sell that home, you can transfer that warranty to the buyer, that product's not going to fade, it's not going to yellow, and it's not going to peel. It is floortechcoatings.com. You put a K in there, T-E-K, floortechcoatings.com. Hey, Jay, do I sound like I'm losing my voice a little bit? We're just getting started with the show. I think it's the drier air out here. I don't know. It's just, I sound hoarse, like I've been cheering for the Knicks or something. Have they had their parade today? I heard all the coverage
yes,
this morning.
they had their parade earlier today.
I heard them setting up for it, and I was listening to all the news. They had like 10,000 police, a lot of security apparatus. They had the same security plan that they use for like New Year's Eve when they host that many people. The New York police are amazing at how they can manage crowds that way. And as far as I know, I haven't seen a single incident that happened in New York. It seemed like it was just a normal celebration, and we didn't allow the hooligans to take over, and the city got to be united for once during the parade. So that was pretty cool. What else happened today? Obama. I just heard this. I was listening to Andrew as I was setting up. The Obama Library is now officially, I guess, dedicated. I don't know when did it open, but they dedicated it today, and Obama came and gave a speech, and you know, they had all the usual suspects there. Hillary Clinton was dressed just like the Penguin from Batman, and it's not enough that the building itself. Now, look, I'm not the only critic. It's just, look, I know you can love Obama, but that's an ugly-ass building, and it's been ripe with controversy, not just the architectural style, but where they put it. Obama says he wanted to give back to the community that he felt tied to as he sort of had some formative years there. He met his wife there. He got into politics there, so that's the natural place. Of course, he could have put it in Kenya. He could have put it in Hawaii. Could have put it anywhere, but he could have put it in Kansas, I guess. But Indonesia, where else he been? And but he put it in Chicago on the south side. And so I guess it'll be what it is. I mean, all these presidential libraries are very different. It is inspirational in this. If you are a person with zero experience at managing anything or doing anything of any real accomplishment, you too can become president and ruin everything and get yourself a building that looks like it belongs in a villain movie, a villain cartoon movie, maybe a space movie. It's where all the evil people hang out and make decisions. And you can have that built in a crime-ridden slum part of Chicago where people will shoot each other right out the doors. And you've got broke contractors who've lost millions, who are still owed millions of dollars in payment for building this building that hadn't been paid yet. And get Hillary to show up at your event with a Hamburglar hat on from McDonald's. Remember the Hamburglar? And also give an exceedingly boring speech. I was listening to Obama thinking, let me see if he still got the magic, because that dude could give a speech back in the day, and it was lame. I mean, it was. I don't mean to just be a gratuitously critical, because he ranks among the worst presidents in this country's history, next to Woodrow Wilson, Jimmy Carter, him, and Biden, and you could obviously throw others if you had a top 10 list. Just a terrible, terrible president. We're still paying a price for ever having elected this guy, and it's largely the Republicans' fault. They didn't know how to run against him. But here we are still cleaning up the mess. Even today, still cleaning up the Iran mess that extends back to some of the stuff that happened during the Obama years. But they love to fancy themselves in politics, and they certainly did today in Chicago. All right, quick break. We'll come back and get some more. We'll get phone calls. I'm kind of easy today. We're not really burdened with any urgent breaking news. If we get it, we get it. And I'm kind of easing into vacation mode. So we'll talk about whatever y'all want to after we get cranked back up. Here's again the number if you want to get in here for you newbies: 545-9950. Lead 'em live. Talking to 995. All right, y'all, let's do this again. Let's keep going. AJ, that there, I checked it out during the break. That there is the Animas River. I had to look that up because you know what the word animus means? I mean, I've always known the word animus to mean, you're sort of, you have ill will towards something. I have animus toward Florida Georgia Line, the band, that kind of thing. But there's a Latin version. Oh, why would somebody name a river like it should be like the pissed off river? It was like the angry, I don't give a damn about your ass river. But I thought maybe it's an Indian word, and I kind of looked it up. There's a Latin word, and originally it meant mind or soul or spirit. So I'm assuming it got its name before animus was adopted by psychology, and people are known to have had animus.
The more you know.
How dorky am I right now? I'm a little bit of a wordsmith, so I got to look these things up. I do that when I'm driving, and I shouldn't do it because I'll cross something or see something. I don't know where I am. You know what's funny, too? Let me just do some travel notes. I'm feeling kind of laid back right now. It's funny to me, you'll pass through a little small town, and it just seems like every town you go through, and maybe I'm just watching too many movies, you should know what town you're in pretty quick, right? You should see a sign, welcome to Dooleyville or whatever, or you'll see the Dooleyville Bank. But I must have crossed through 3 or 4 little spots in the road today, and I couldn't find the name of the town on anything. It wasn't on a church. It wasn't on a post office. I didn't see a welcome sign. It was just a bunch of businesses, and some of them were cute. Some of them were kind of scary. But, yeah, it was. It's just funny like that. I have to get the GPS out while I'm riding through to even figure out where I am sometimes. And part of that is our reliance on not relying on paper maps and really being able to orient. We're just trusting, and I just do this all the time now, where you're just trusting that device and following the blue line until you lose signal or the thing goes off. And that happened to me at one point when I was about 3 miles from a turn. I was like, because on a day like today, I can't afford to make a wrong turn or to kill any time doing anything but trying to get to the next spot. So I was freaking out for a second. I finally got that thing working again. But in the old paper map days, man, we kind of knew we were driving to Dooleyville and taking a right on 43. And now we're just following. We're just following along. But it was nice to drive up in here and see that pretty sight right there. Let me scroll around and just show y'all again. And by the way, if you don't follow us on Talk 99.5, I know a lot of times, I'll be real with you, it gets a little boring just watching us sit in the studio and talk, which is one of the reasons we wanted to get out and do this trip again this year. It's America's 250, and this, it's such a beautiful country, and we got the cameras now, so we can actually give you something to look at, and all those interesting people that we met 3 years ago, the cowboys and the hardy people that live out here, and some of the crazy people too, and some of their stories. If y'all want to start bookmarking the site on YouTube, it's on all the platforms, I think. I generally find it on the YouTube channel, but I think I don't know where all we're live, AJ. I lose track of it now, but if you're not too busy, I know a lot of people that listen to shows like this are busy doing something else during the day. Y'all are out there driving trucks or being the cops, or you're on your route, or you're in between shuttling your kids, and you're kind of doing stuff, and we're sort of keeping you company. We're well aware of that. So you can't really keep your eyes on a screen, but as things change and cameras seem to be more everywhere, we're getting a little bit better and better at trying to show you what we're doing. And sometimes we actually get out of the house and can show you something interesting. So I've got this little setup that I can pretty much control myself. We're going to try to take y'all with us on these trips. Let me go this way. I'm trying not to invade anybody's privacy, because this is just kind of what the back of the campground looks like. That's sort of the back corner of my unit where I've got some things tied on, and you can see a bicycle pedal there. And then that's about it. All you want to see is that water there. Again, I hate it that it's so bad back home. And we've got a wet pattern in the forecast after this tropical system Arthur works its way through as well. And I think, especially with the El Nino effect this year, I think we're just going to have a wet summer and maybe even a wet winter. Some people think it could lead to us having some snowfall this year, but I've heard that before. We hear that all the time. Let's talk to you about Hueytown Pond while we're at it. I'm just going to leave that picture up. Man, Tommy has just gotten, I think it was about 2 days ago. Some of my timeline is turning into a blur, but he reached out while I was talking about these AR-12s and said he just got a new shipment in because y'all always get in there and buy them up, and then he'll try to get some more. He finds deals from great manufacturers. He likes to buy things in lots and put an emphasis on it. So, and when he does, we're here to amplify those deals and let you know when you need to get over there. And this is one of them. You can't beat a good-looking, highly functional, very intimidating, and fun-looking AR-12 shotgun. In addition to the extended mags, I think this is the first time he's had those 19-round mags that can you can do some you can tear down some forests with that thing, and of course they're only $279.99 in the desert color, which is when he first got them in, he had traditional a lot of AR platforms are in black, sort of flat black, but he had those come in and those were super popular. That's probably the color I would get. I picked up a Glock 43 from him a while back in that color, and I like that gun. It sort of blends in. What I like about that little pistol is if I put it down in a backpack or a bag, it doesn't blend in with the background of the bag. The background of the bag is kind of black on the inside, and you just kind of lose things down in there. And the older I get, I'm looking to be able to see so I can find that thing in a hurry if I tuck it in somewhere. Anyway, y'all go down to Hueytown Pawn and look at all the stuff. It's a great gun counter. These are wonderful guys to work with. They can track stuff down for you because they do have a pawn license. It's a nice pre-owned selection as well. Hueytown Pawn in Hueytown, of course, on Brook Lane Drive. Y'all go meet Tommy and shop around and see what you think of the place. Hueytown Pawn, Brook Lane Drive. Okay, bottom of the hour, we'll come back and do some more headlines and take some phone calls, see what else we can do. Leland Live, Talk 99.5. Y'all stay tuned. There you go, AJ. Little theme music for the trip. I was sitting here when you started that song. Is that John Denver, by the way?
Yep.
He always singing some chill stuff. Now I feel like a hippie. Now I'm finally getting in hippie mode. Oh, hey, what's happening, AJ? I had a hippie type dude next to me when I pulled in. He was busy working, and had his family out there. Young guy, and finally we just started talking. I was doing my hookups. He was doing his stuff, and we're 10 feet apart. He goes, oh, hey, so where are you coming from, man? He had that exact same kind of vibe, and we just talked for a while. And he was heading out as I was coming in. He was heading on to his next spot. Turns out we're going to some of the same towns back to back. I'll probably run across this guy again before the trip's over. Very nice dude, but he was like, oh, so AJ, like, yeah, you guys hope you have a really chill time and a safe journey. And so I had to change my tone. It was somebody you got to kind of match him a little bit. I was like, you too, brother. You too. All right. So I'm in it now. I've only been here like an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours. So here we go. You ever been to Colorado?
I have not been to Colorado. I do want to go. That's one of the places obviously I've been to California. I've been to Seattle. I've been to Portland, Oregon. I have not been to Denver yet, or at least Colorado, the state. There was one time when I was in New Mexico, I was like, oh, it's like 2 hours from here or whatever. I forgot how far it was from New Mexico, but it's not that far. And I was like, oh, I could do that, and then I just never did it. So I do want to go out there one day and go check it out.
It really is a beautiful state. I have a former, I guess you'd call him a former brother-in-law and sister-in-law that live out here now, and it's the first place I ever took a plane trip to. I was sort of thinking about all that when I drove in. When I was a kid, I didn't fly on a plane until late college ever in my life anywhere. And I remember we flew to Denver and went to Colorado Springs for a little short trip. And first time I'd ever seen snow like that. In Alabama, we get that icy kind of slick, hard-packed snow. And out here, it's just pure fluff. I mean, overnight it can be 2 foot of fluff. I mean, it's just beautiful. But I'm not a skier, so I just don't like it. I've tried it. I just don't like it. So I really like it out here because of the drier air in the summertime. And so I've been through here quite a few times, and there's some cool spots, and we're going to travel through here. I'm here, for those that care, we're doing there's a bluegrass festival that I've wanted to go to since I was a kid. Well, since I've heard of it, and I can't remember when that was, but it's the Telluride Bluegrass Festival. And I've always seen the pictures from it, and every year they have acts that are just the people I'm kind of digging and listening to, and I'm getting more and more into the acoustic music as I get older. And this year it just lined up. That's the first thing I did to figure out, okay, if we're going back out west, where do we want to start? You have to spend 2 or 3 days just getting out here the way I have to do it. But and then I saw that festival was this weekend. The thing about Telluride, though, is it's kind of down in a box canyon, and I've never been there. They say it's just stunning, and we're going to get to spend several days in that area in addition to the music. And so, AJ, I got all my stuff. I got my instruments. I hope to get to pick and grin with some people, and there are a bunch of acts playing through the weekend that I'm going to be into. I'll be there through Father's Day, and it's just going to be a nice time, I think. And it could be weird. It could. I've had to sometimes, especially when you're traveling as a couple, one of you has to do what the other one does a little bit, and then you compromise. Can I just tell on her real quick? I'm gonna go ahead and try to. I don't think she can hear me right now, so I'm about to get in trouble. So yesterday we get to Albuquerque, and I can't describe the wind. It was a really strong wind, and it was like somebody blowing a hairdryer in your face from about noon all the way to about 8 o'clock at night. It was just this hot dragon's breath kind of wind. And one of the places we were heading to was to some of the Utah canyons and hikes after we do some of Colorado. We were going to go do that for a few days. And after she came in with the dogs, she had been out with the dogs, and she just had this bewildered look on her face. AJ, it's like a dragon had sneezed in her face, and she just had her hair was blown back, and she was eyes were all bugged out. She goes, "We're gonna have to make some adjustments on this trip." so she just didn't want to hike in 103 degree weather, and we kind of knew it was gonna be hot, but it's also crowded in some of those places. So we're still gonna get into Moab. It's gonna be hot there, but we're not gonna spend the full time there. We're gonna move on to some cooler climates later in the trip. But that's the thing you got to adjust on the fly, and that's one thing I like about RV travel is you got the ability to do that. Even if you have to cancel a reservation, it's not a ton of money, and you can generally find places to park out here if you want to sort of freestyle it at some point. And there are a lot of vagabonds and nomads you meet out on the road, especially out in this part of the country, that are just living full time out of these things, and they just wake up one day and decide it's time for a change and head off to another pretty setting. But that's the beauty of our country. Well, I've had the privilege to travel to Europe a couple of times in the last few years, and our country's just as pretty as anything over there. It's always amazing to see somebody else's culture, but the American West is just it's hard to describe the ruggedness of it, the beauty of it, until you get out here. And sadly, you guys got to listen to me talk about it a lot for the next couple of weeks. JJ, our buddy JJ's over here in on line 4 in Birmingham. What's up, JJ?
Hey, Leland, I hear you're in Colorado.
Yes, ma'am.
You were talking about you've been there several times because you got family out there. So you've probably seen these things and been on most of them. But have you ever come, I don't know what interstate you come off of, but once you come sort of over a hill and you see this other huge hill or mountain, and there are buffalo grazing all over it. Have you seen that yet?
Well, I've seen it before, and I know exactly what you're describing because I'm not quite in that part of the state. You got to get much further north to see them.
You probably had.
Yeah,
And the other thing you'll want to see is I'm driving and it's raining, so I might be interrupting you, and I'm sorry.
No,
but,
you're good.
The other thing you've probably already done is at some of your travels there is to go up the tram to Pikes Peak, the top of Pikes Peak.
You know, I've never done that. Every time I've come out here, I mean to do the Pikes Peak thing. I actually have some buddies that competed in. There's a road race where you race a car to the top, and they time you, and it's super dangerous. And I've always wanted to go watch that. I don't even know what time of year that it happens.
I mean, click all the way up that mountain, and you'll be in clouds, and it's just, oh man, it's just gorgeous up there. And the other thing is, there's two other things real quick. The other thing, and you probably know about it, there's a Red Rock open air theater.
Yep, I'm going to hit that on the way home. Yep, I'm going to go there for sure.
And the last thing is, you must have missed Bugs Bunny in Albuquerque. I can't believe that you did not watch Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig.
The Bugs Bunny joke just went right over my head.
Cartoons when you were young.
JJ, I appreciate you hitting us with that, though. Thanks for the tourism tips.
Have fun.
All right. Thank you. It's a big state, and it's completely different vibes depending on where you show up. Now, the area we're in is in the very Durango's in the very southern part of the state, just over the border, really, from New Mexico. It's when you first start seeing Colorado look like Colorado. And so we're going to work our way north, and then eventually a lot of Wyoming. Wyoming, to be real, is probably my favorite state out here, and it's a rival with South Dakota. But I do love Colorado, but it's a little different. The further north you move, and it's mainly the weather that it changes to that cool mountain air in the middle of the summer, and it's just like taking a real vacation, even when you're working out here like we'll be doing quite a bit. Jerry's over here on line 1. What's up, Jerry?
How's it going, Leland?
Too good, man. Too good.
Okay. Well, I was going to tell you about Colorado if you go up there now, because when I used to work for American Airlines, we used to have each group had a softball team, and each group would throw every 3 months a tournament, and the people in Colorado threw one, and we had mountains with snow. I mean, just absolutely beautiful around us. But that was back when I was younger and in really good shape. And let me tell you what, you run around the bases, you hit a ball, and you run around the bases, and you make it to second base, and you're sitting there leaning over, huffing and puffing for air.
Yep.
I mean, this is back when I used to jog and run good and everything, and I was like, oh, my God.
It's real. The altitude sickness is real, and you do have to acclimate. Now, we're not that high yet. I think we're at about maybe 8,000 feet. We came in at 7,000, so I don't know what we are right here. I can try to figure that out. But, yeah, when you start getting up closer to Denver, again, that's the first place I ever flew into. And I remember getting off the plane. We had a huge layover and walked around Denver for 2-3 hours, and I started feeling that dizzy kind of thing. It's just the air's a little thinner, the oxygen's a little thinner, and a country boy from that thick area that we're from really notices it very, very quickly.
Well, you should have seen the guys from Hawaii. Now, we had a whole group from Hawaii. We're talking big Samoans that would wear these little skirt things and stuff. I mean, huge. And they never had to run around the bases because every time they just barely tapped the ball went flying way over the fence. It was like a moon rocket. I mean, it was unreal.
I bet it does fly.
Right,
They say, thanks, buddy. They say the Rockies, it flies out of their stadium as well when they hit the ball out there in this thinner air. Speaking of baseball, let me shove this in here. It's one of the controversies of the day, I guess. It's just amazing that we're still talking about this in 2026. But there's been a minor league team, and I'm glad these guys finally took a stand on this stuff, that decided this is York. I think I have the soundbite from the newscast about it. In York, Pennsylvania, they've got a local baseball, and they decided they are not going to wear these Pride Night jerseys that Major League Baseball and Minor League Baseball are forcing on these players. Some of these players aren't gay. You shouldn't be forced to wear a jersey based on someone's sexual activity. I mean, if you think about it, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about how other people decide they want to have sex and live their lives has become some thing that we're obligated to salute. And I mean, and then where does it go after that? I mean, we're going to have people that like batteries and jumper nipple clamps night. I don't care how you get your freak on. It's none of my business. I shouldn't have to wear your uniform. And so these players, apparently the whole team in York decided they're not doing it. They don't want to be forced to do this. They're just playing baseball. Enough of this Pride Night stuff. If you want to be gay, be gay. If you want to be lesbian, have fun. Most of the country doesn't give a damn about your lifestyle. And we don't want to be forced to participate. We were told that was the bargain when the gay marriage thing happened, at least in our social discussions. We had a big social discussion about it. That was at 2014 or 15? And most folks said, look, I think I can't remember when Obergefell was, but the rational argument from people that wanted to have gay marriage was, look, we just want the same rights other couples have. And that's reasonable. I know you can put the Bible in there and have your biblical beliefs. That's not the discussion is in a society of laws. Should laws be equal to protect people that have that kind of lifestyle? Well, fine. And we were told that's all we want, just to be treated like everybody else and be normal. And now all these other groups have latched on, and they've got all these acronyms added to the LGBTQ Batman symbol plus, questioning all this other ridiculous stuff. And we're supposed to understand it, salute it, guess at people's identity and pronouns, allow these intrusions with the kids. All that started with that nose under the tent. And now you got these baseball players. Can we just play the damn game? I don't know where I heard it today. Somebody was talking about now the reporters are going into locker rooms with the San Francisco Giants are finding these players out in the wild and going, why did you write the Bible verse on your hat? It's his hat. I know it's the team's uniform. But if we just quit having Pride Nights and go back to just playing baseball, maybe people could just enjoy baseball, and you can do your Pride event wherever you want to. So the bottom line is the team, the York, I don't know what they are called, the York Revolution. Those players said, no, we're not wearing the uniform. It was their normal uniform with rainbow sleeves. And they just said they weren't going to do it. So they had to put the old cancel on the Pride Night in Pennsylvania. Here's what the newscast sounded like.
News out of York. The York Revolution says that it is canceling tonight's Pride Night game, saying that players refused to wear the Pride Night jersey. The team says the game will be forfeited, but says it will still hold a free Pride Night event at Wellspan Park. The Revs say that if you did buy tickets for tonight's game, you can redeem them for any future game. The event that is still on for tonight will run from 5:30 to 9.
So instead of canceling the uniform, they canceled the whole game. And then they're going to have like a sausage fest or something and then go back to playing baseball. I don't know. It's just, anyway, I had to shove that in there. That's a funny story. Norman is up next on line T. What's up, Norman?
Hey, Leland.
Hey, man.
I tried to get in touch with you a minute ago when you was talking about the Bluegrass Festival.
Yeah.
Well, there's a group right here in Alabama, and they call themselves cotton-picking kids. And
They
they're
have
from
played.
Coleman, Alabama.
Yeah, they
They're
have
from
played
Coleman,
live on my
Alabama.
radio show. Yeah, they played live
Oh,
on the
did
show
you?
here before. Yeah, they
Oh,
came
okay.
to the Fiddlers Convention up in Athens. I think it was last fall, and those guys got to play live. They're amazingly talented. I really love those kids.
Oh, yes, they are awesome.
Yep.
I just wanted to pass that on to you, Leland. And as
Well, I
always,
appreciate
stay
that,
blessed.
Norman. I will tell you this: what they call bluegrass out here, and it's super popular. Acoustic music, same instruments, but it's different. And there's a California version of it. I'm really into a bunch of acts that are based out of California. There's and it's more, I guess I'd almost call it mountain music. It's not as strictly bluegrass as we know, sort of the Appalachian version of it, but it's still cool. And there's a group, I think they're playing the festival this year. I'm not sure I'll get the chance to see them because they have different lineups. It's a 3-day deal. But Mountain Grass Unit is based out of Alabama. I think some of those kids are from over in Mountain Brook. And they are absolutely tearing it up right now and are making names for themselves. Super talented young players. And I love to see the young kids embracing this older style of music, and they're changing it up and making it sound like they should make it sound like. Billy Strings is one of the hottest acts touring right now. There's some huge acts that play from time to time. He's not on the bill this time, but there are some cool acts I'm going to get to see. But, yeah, Alabama's got a connection. And I think we've got a connection to a group called Clay Street Unit. Believe there may be some players in that band, too. They're playing out here this weekend as well. Jennifer is over on line 3. What's up, Jennifer?
Leland, how you doing? I know you're wonderful being in the great state of Colorado.
It's nice.
And we do say Rado, actually.
Colorado.
I wanted to call in and say I grew up in Durango. So.
Oh, wow. It's a beautiful town.
Yeah, I grew up so from elementary school all the way through high school, and my dad was a retired professor from Fort Lewis College there. So I was just so it makes me kind of homesick with hearing you, but I'm so glad you got to travel there. But I was curious, are you taking the RV because I heard you want to go to Telluride? Are you guys going up through Highway 550 up through Silverton and Ouray?
Yeah, I'm going to Ouray because it's a little bit closer. You really can't camp in. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, I was going to say because it's called the $1 Million Highway. So 550 goes to Silverton, to Ouray, and then to Telluride, and back down to Dolores. So
yeah, I'll be taking all that.
Highway 550 is. I mean, be careful in that it's one of the most beautiful drives you'll ever see. And before you get to Silverton, there's a place called Moelis Pass, and that's at like 10,000 some odd feet. And that's probably some of the cleanest, most breathable air you'll ever get in your lungs in your entire life. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous there. So just be safe, and I'm glad you're doing it. But so Durango was like, I believe it's at 6,000. Silverton's at 9,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not actually sure what Telluride is, but you're completely correct that it's like in a valley, but the end, like one end of Telluride is like an enclosed bowl. So they have like a park down there, and growing up it was always hippies in the drum circle, or
I bet it was.
Or a bunch
I guarantee
of
it was.
Richie Rich's snowbirds, and it's like there was no middleman. It was always hippies or Richies. So, but yeah, so be safe. But it just makes my heart feel good because I love when you go out west and do your shows, and I especially from a couple of years ago when you went out to like Cheyenne and Cheyenne Frontier Days, and that's just awesome.
Well, we're doing that again this year, and this time we got the cameras, and I hope those guys will have me back. They really asked me to. A lot of these folks have just begged us to come back one day, and we took a minute, but yeah, we're going to try that again. And let me ask you a question before I go to the break. If you could go to one place to eat dinner in Durango, if you had one night, because I got one night here, and then we're going to move north, where would you go out to eat tonight? What's a good restaurant?
And that's tonight.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be this famous Mexican restaurant, but it closed, called Francisco's, and it's no longer there. But if I were you, one of the quintessential places is the Strater Hotel.
Okay.
But you don't want to go to the restaurant in the Strater. You want to go to the Diamond Circle Saloon, and
Got
you
it.
can order apps and beer and sit at the bar. And actually, that's where they filmed on Chevy Chase Vacation,
Yeah.
the scene where he's like they're in and he shoots at him because they're supposed to be in Dodge City, but that was
Exactly.
technically filmed in the Strader at the bar.
Fun.
It's kind of a Diamond Bell saloon, and the guys in there usually somebody's either playing guitar or they used to have a piano player that would like play ragtime piano, and all the waitresses are like in the little like cocktail, like the dresses with the feather and the hat.
We
and all
may check that
So-
out tonight. Jennifer, I appreciate
yeah,
the
you
call.
got
We got to
the
hit this
swinging
break.
doors, so there you go.
I want to do that. Saloon doors. I want to do it. All right, back in a minute. Y'all said thanks, Jennifer. Back in a minute. It's 2:58, Leland Live. I could really get into doing the show this way, AJ, where I'm not on the camera, but I'm just showing these pictures. It's a whole lot easier. Hey, Alabama Bass ready to come tighten you up if you've got a tub shower combo deal in your house and it's just getting a little dicey, or you're worried about falling in there, or maybe it's your mom or your dad. Sometimes we have loved ones that they start aging and you want them to have that freedom and independence. And let's be honest, they got a lot of pride too, and they don't want your charity. They don't want your help, but everybody knows it'd be better if you had an easier system. This is what they specialize in at Alabama Bass, and they're ready to help you too. This is a wonderful family. They've been at it as a company over 40 years. Jill's going to answer the phone and get you set up. One of those guys is going to come out and meet with you. John's a veteran, and he'll work with you too if you're a veteran and you get maybe some of this kind of work done. with the VA paying for it. We owe you that. If you've got a service-connected disability, these are beautiful systems too. They don't look like hospital handicap systems. They're gorgeous. They'll make your bathroom look better. You'll make it feel better, and of course make it safer. Slip-proof handles where handles ought to be, and shelving and plumbing and things. Even fold-down seats or fixed seats so you can even sit if you need to. This is nice stuff. Y'all get Alabama Baths to do it. They're going to take good care of you. It's a 2-day deal too. They're not going to wreck your house and keep you tied up for days. 2 days, they're in and out. AlabamaBaths.com. All right, real quick break. Back in a minute. Leland Live. Stay tuned.